The behind the scenes now, live.
Behind the scenes before the podcast, cast.
And we echo, echo, echo.
It's constant echo. There's no question about it.
All right.
Today's
Hey,
gonna be a great conversation. Are we live?
we are live.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Gail, great Thursday.
It is a great Thursday. I asked you when we came on the call and we were just having a little chat, how was your weekend? That's how I feel right now. It feels like life is so great. It feels like, hey, yesterday was the weekend and it's Thursday.
It's
So
just long gone. Some people still carry their weekend with them, though. I think that's what you were alluding to.
yes, every day should be how was your weekend the next day, because what do we think about? And this is a great tie into our topic today, which is blissful dissatisfaction. Because, some people, well, I'll be happy when the weekend gets here. I'll be happy when it's Friday. I'll be happy when. And we're going to have a great conversation about that today, because how would it feel to take your happy self with you every day along this journey of life? And Steve, I had never heard the term blissful dissatisfaction. I know it's been out there because other people had alluded to it, but I never heard it until I heard it from you. And it really described my life perfectly. Like I'm a happy person, but I'm also somewhat dissatisfied at some of the different stages in life. But through your coaching and training, I've learned to identify those characteristics, and now I can confidently say I take my happy self with me every day, but I'm always looking for that next opportunity to improve and be the next best version of myself. So talk to us about blissful dissatisfaction, and where did you come up with that, and how do you teach that?
Yeah, I'm glad it landed on you, Gail, the way it did, because most people find themselves living unblissful dissatisfaction. Like they're just not happy and they're also not satisfied. So I use the term no man's land. I've used that for who knows how long. And I find most people in no man's land where they're not happy, but they're not unhappy enough to do anything about it. Now, how does that correlate? You decide how, you interpret that, how that's going to fall into your own life. But I feel that we use the term blissful dissatisfaction like it's one of the most important topics that we can cover and talk about and discuss and unbox. It's happiness. And if there's one thing, like when it's all said and done, the end game is we want to be happier, right? And past that, maybe it's a layer or a level of fulfillment in life. So it's always a very engaging conversation. It's one of the most popular topics and most exciting topics that when we talk about this in our transformation method, they're like, gosh, I really took a lot out of the blissful dissatisfaction component because I need to choose to learn to be happy now, but still be dissatisfied as I'm taking my next steps, as I'm progressing, as I'm growing, as I'm expanding, evolving, elevating, exploring more of who I am. But in the process, choose to be blissful, choose to be appreciative, choose to be grateful, and watch how you are taking you with you to that future destination. So I enjoy sharing this topic and this concept because we can literally change the course of meaning in our life day in, day out, every hour, every minute. And it's for most people, I'm not sure if you alluded to this, but I hear this like blissful dissatisfaction. Like that sounds like an oxymoron. Like it's such a foreign concept, but really, as we're talking about this, I want you to listen and understand like it really is the pathway to happiness and more fulfillment in your life. There's two types of people, and I'll just get right into it because I know there's gonna be questions about this, and there's always some great questions about happiness and fulfillment and being more abundant in life. And the two types of people that find themselves in this state, or how about this? They cheat themselves from being happy now. Like it, I don't enjoy seeing people in pain. I don't enjoy seeing people suffer. I enjoy seeing people happy. I enjoy them living a life of abundance. So when you rob yourself of that happiness now, waiting for a future destination or a particular time, we have to change the narrative of what we are choosing from an emotional standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So if people are cheating themselves from happiness now, the first person that's going to be living in this space is going to be the person that says, all right, you know what? I'll be happy when. They say, I'll be happy when I have the dream body. I'll be happy when I have that perfect relationship. I'll be happy when I lose or release or drop that 30 pounds. I'll be happy when I have that luxury sports car that I want to have. I'll be happy when I have my dream home. See, the problem with that is, though, is that, again, who you're choosing to be now is who you're carrying with you to that destination. Because I know, I can't even tell you how many people I know that I've worked with, or directly or indirectly, because I have a lot of information out there. I have people that reach out to me all the time and say, hey, you know what? We're not coaching together. I've never been your client. I've never been on your training program, but I follow your advice and they've gotten tremendous results. But you can tell they're still not happy because they'll tell you they're not happy. They're still waiting for that next level. So the first person is the person that says, I'll be happy when. And that is a faulted, incorrect belief that you want to live through to get to that next stage, to whatever you desire you want to have. And is that something, Gail, that you had experienced in this process?
Well, when I look back over, let's just go over my career as a realtor. So I look back and I dug in, I learned what I could learn as a new realtor, and I was happy. Whoa, I got paid to learn how to sell houses. And then, I was always out just looking to help people. That's always been my core, is to help people, to be kind and help wherever I could. And so I was happy in the notion. And fast forward to 2017, throughout my career, I earned the accolades of Realtor of the Year for our local association. So in that span, I grew both in knowledge and experience, but also in weight and out of shape. So I was happy as a realtor. I was happy as, like, I was knocking it out of the park. People enjoyed working with my husband and I, but yet I was dissatisfied, Steve, with how I felt, how I looked, the body image that I had through all of that. And so I think that's what really helped me in my transformation process over the last 3.5 years. Is I've always been a happy person, but yet I was dissatisfied with things in my life, and I exited no man's land because I was willing to do something about it. And so I've seen results over that time, and I'm blissfully dissatisfied knowing that there's still more that I can accomplish, but I'm genuinely happy with where I'm at right now. So I have had those emotions of being happy, successful. So this doesn't, it has nothing to do with your success. It has everything to do with where you end up at the next stage of your life. If you're happy in the success that you have, and then you take your new transformational body with you, then you're happy at that stage. And it has, I think about the people who think, well, oh, man, this weather is so crappy outside, man. I'll be happy when this rain stops and the sun comes out. I'm like, well, will you? Because if you're looking, it's you get what you focus on. If you're focused on the weather and the negative feelings that you have towards that rain, when the sun comes out, who's to say something's not going to come in and bring some of that negative focus to take that energy off of being happy then. So it's a complex, but yet really simple, complex and simple, but it's if you can wrap your mind around it. And
Talk about an oxymoron.
yeah,
Simplistic complexity.
I'm a simple, complex woman.
I'm simply complex. No, you know, and it's really interesting. It really is simple. Think about your identity for a moment. And most people don't look at it this way, but identity is your self-image. So your identity is going to be carried with you from this moment to the next moment, unless you have awareness on how to alter the thermostat of your life so that you can actually heat up your thermostat. Your thermostat could be from a happiness level where you're just not a happy person. Regardless of whatever happens, you just aren't happy, which is the second type of person, which is going to be the person that just is not going to enjoy this now because they feel they're going to lose their drive or they're going to lose their ambition for future progress, future achievement. And they just say, well, I'm just going to tough it through. I'm just going to go rough it. And they just never step back and say, hey, I'm going to be appreciative for the progress I've made and for the celebration. And it doesn't even have to be a physical progress. It could be just simply saying, hey, you know that walk I told myself I was going to do? And I've been telling myself I was going to do it for the last 3 or 4 days, and I've never done the workout. Well, you know what? Today I mustered up the commitment and I did the walk. Go celebrate. How do you celebrate? Go promise yourself something else and go accomplish that. And you start getting this momentum going. And that is a sense of happiness as well. Happiness is a choice. Happiness, really, if you think about this, Gail, it's a default setting. We've been born into this world from the time were released from the womb. We're happy babies. Like, no baby is born unhappy. Yeah, they're crying and, maybe they're screaming, but that's because there's like these lights and people talking but babies are happy. But somewhere down the road, we've been conditioned, we've been cultivated to have certain emotions. And if we're in an unhappy environment, we tend to be unhappy people. But we can make a decision to just choose to be happy when we need to be happy. So that's the second type of person. So identity. Think about your identity, who you choose to be. I want to correlate this to something we did talk about several weeks ago. And that's the be, do, have. Like, think about this. Most people are living from have, do, be. Once I have the encouragement, once I have the motivation, once I have the drive, then I'll start doing the movements. I'll go contribute to Hug Your People. I'll do the things I need to do. I'll go make those phone calls for prospecting. And then I'll be happy. But what if you said, all right, well, what if we went from be, do, have, which is a proven model, and said, hey, I'm going to choose to be. It's a way of being. It's a characteristic that we need to choose to be in, because that's identity. Identity is way of being. I'm going to be happy. And my happiness is going to cause me to be inspired to go take that walk, or to go prepare my healthy foods, or to pick up the phone and have that conversation with somebody I've been procrastinating on. Then I have success. Then I have fulfillment in my life. Then I have greatness. I'm living a better quality life. So it really is perspective and how you interpret that. And that's what we want to share here. Is we just want to come in here and share the ideas that nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about how to actually be happier. And there's no magic formula for it. There's no key. As a matter of fact, it's part of a combination. Like, everybody's like, what's the key to living a happy life? Well, there's a combination to it, meaning there's several pieces, but it comes down to an emotion. Happiness is an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest question I think I get, is like, hey, Steve, how do I become happier? Like, how do I be happy? Well, first off, you just need to decide.
Hmm.
You just need to make a decision that in this moment, I'm going to be happy. We've talked about this before. The quality of our life comes down to the quality of the emotions we experience. And is happiness an emotion?
Yes.
It's a very powerful emotion. Unhappiness is an emotion. So if you want to alter or course correct the quality of your emotions that you are experiencing day in, day out, then we must change the quality of the thoughts.
I was just thinking of that because as I made my bed this morning, I had an emotion strike me and the thoughts that came in. And you know what I did? I was like, stop it, stop it, stop it. Because I've learned that I can control that. I can, and here's what people do. A lot of people, they'll just go, yeah, and they'll have that dialogue inside their mind with that negative emotion, and it goes back and forth and back and forth, and then all of a sudden you come out and your husband smiles at you, and you go, what are you smiling at me for? You know, it's like, no, you can stop those thoughts that come into you, that identify if they're serving you and your best self, and redirect your thoughts and your emotion. And I'll always remember you saying, stop it, stop it, stop it. And sometimes we just have to talk out loud to ourselves
Yeah.
and remind ourselves that we have control to be able to move that emotion away from that negative thought into something that's much more positive and serving to keep you on that happy path.
So research states that we have up to 75,000 thoughts per day. 75,000 thoughts per day, and up to 95% of the thoughts that we have are today are the same thoughts that we had yesterday, and then the day before that, and the week before that, and the month before that. So it's no wonder people are living in a state of, let's call it, unhappiness if their thoughts are not serving them. The quality of the questions that they're asking themselves are not serving them. If they're constantly focused on what is missing in their life over what they're grateful for in their life. So if you were to change 10%, 10% of your thinking and your thoughts on a daily basis, just let's say if you even change 10 thoughts, 10, there we go, 10 thoughts, how differently would your life start unfolding? Think about that. So blissful dissatisfaction, nobody should be, and again, this is a word that often gets criticized, or there's some confusion. Again, it's all interpretation, but contention, being content. To me, being content means things are okay. They're sort of on autopilot. I can continue living the next couple days, next couple weeks, next couple months, being content the way I am. Go find the things that you're dissatisfied with and be blissful in those moments, knowing that your next day is going to be better than today. And today's a pretty darn good day. Great day. See, like I said, good.
I know.
Good to great.
Good to great.
And it's been recorded. So that is where we can really start gaining better control of the emotions we're living in. And it's going to happen through the pathway to greater happiness and fulfillment in your way through blissful dissatisfaction.
Awesome.
And again, it's a concept that we can continue talking about, and you can gain more access. Actually, I have some videos too that I can even share. If anybody's interested, just drop a comment below and I'll share an extensive content piece about blissful dissatisfaction, and you decide where you want to make the course corrections and the changes and the alterations in the quality of you living your best life. But if you don't bring you with you, meaning who you're choosing to be today, don't wait to make that change later, because likely it's not going to happen. And love yourself in the process. If you don't love yourself, if you won't love yourself if you're not being yourself. right? We've talked about that. You
Mhm.
can't believe in yourself if you're not being yourself. And you certainly can't stand up for yourself if you're not being yourself. So find out who you choose to be, which in this conversation, choose to be happy, choose blissfulness.
And we talk about the small steps. It's the small things that we do consistently. So like when I was making my bed and I had that emotion, that negative emotion, and I stopped it. That was a small step. And it takes practice. You're not going to overcome and just come out if you're living in a sad state because of circumstances. Choose today to take a small step to move out of that. Say, I choose to be happy. I decide today I want to be happy. I made a decision July 1st, 2019, and I talk about writing out my manifesto. And it was, I decided to detox, there was 4 Ds, and writing out something that wasn't natural to me at that moment was scary. It created an emotion in me, but I wrote it anyway. And then I took small steps every day to come out of where I was so that I could become the person that I was choosing to be. You have everything inside you right now to live the life that you desire to live. And you just have to make a decision to do it. And then you have to find the people to surround yourself with, the environment to surround yourself with that is going to help support you in that journey. And Steve, I'm extremely grateful for the last 18 months that you and I have spent together in the transformation method and watching other people go through the same things and coming out, living their best life. So thank you from me to you. Thank you for what you've poured in to me and dozens of other humans who decided not to be in no man's land anymore.
Yeah. And I'll say this, we have our final 90-day transformation method coming up starting October 1st. So if you're desiring greater expansion, evolution, evolving, you just know inside, like there's something more. You want to free yourself from yourself. You want to alter your thoughts, your beliefs, the stories, and start peeling those back one at a time so it becomes more liberating and you can start living the life that you're desired to live or you're destined to live and live your best life. Then raise your hand and I'm opening up the link coming this weekend, and we're starting October 1st, and it's going to be a 12-week course where you're going to learn quite literally how to free yourself from yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's super exciting. So let's get after it. And I do appreciate this time every Thursday that we can share some energy and share some frequency together. And let us know your comments. Let us know what your takeaways are from this conversation. What do you want to hear more of? What over the last 12, 13 weeks, because now we're coming strong into full quarter, discussing things that we feel are important to share with you, and you can take away with it however you want to take away with it. But what do you want to hear more of? Where can we just lean into the same, a concept, a topic, an idea, and so that we can deliver to you what you desire?
Let us know.
We're here.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. All right, Gail. So come Monday, you can ask me how my weekend was.
Okay. That's a fair deal. I actually know how your weekend's going to go. If it was anything like last weekend, you're going to be on the softball fields for several games.
A lot of sports, softball, baseball, and it's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. So,
blissful.
All right, well, if you're ready to go, say let's go and enjoy the rest of this week and go live blissfully dissatisfied because you deserve it.
You deserve it. We're out.